Hey everybody, it's Wayne bringing you guys an options premium update. I'm also going to share with you how I've been able to convert options premium into passive income. Now, last year I made a decision that I was no longer going to be contributing to my M1 portfolio in 2025. And the reason being, I want to focus contributing earned income into my son's custodial account. And so this is a problem that I have because you can see here my portfolio sits at just over 250,000. I eventually want this portfolio to be able to fund all of my bills, my entire lifestyle, if you will. So it's problematic because I need this portfolio to grow as well. And if we take a look here, these are the positions within the long-term focus slice that I really think are going to give me the advantage of living off of passive income. But again, I go back to for 2025, I'm no longer going to be contributing any more earned income. So how do I continue to grow this portfolio? Well, take a look here at all the positions that I have within the monthly dividend slice. Last year, I began to realize if I'm not going to contribute any more money into my M1 portfolio, why not take the options premium that I earned and why not invest a bulk of that into high yielding monthly pairs? And that's exactly what I did. Now, I had Main Street Capital, I had BST, and I had JetQ. So ultimately, I was just able to beef up those positions. And the goal that I had was to make at least $100 a month from each of the positions that's in this monthly dividend slice. Now, I was able to 100% fund from options premium the other four positions, SPY-I, Triple QI, FEPI, and AIPI. So as far as I'm concerned, my cost basis on these four additional positions is really zero, because I've essentially taken options premium that I earned last year and I've invested that money into now these positions, which are paying me a minimum of $100 from each. Now let's go ahead and take a look here at my dividend spreadsheet. Now I've isolated this to only show you my M1 brokerage and the monthly payers within. Now it is important to point out ADC is a monthly payer. However, I am currently reinvesting all dividends from ADC back into ADC. But the other positions, to include O Realty Income, which is paying me about $135 every single month, I am using all of these monthly payers, and I am using that cash flow to fund all of the positions that you saw earlier in the long-term holding slide. So this is really exciting because rather than having to come up with a bulk of money to fund those positions in the long-term hold slides, I instead was able to use less money, buy these monthly high yielding positions, and now my goal is to reach about $1,000 a month in passive income. So I certainly think I can get there. And so one of the goals that I have in addition is to also fund a new monthly pair. Take a look here at my Robinhood brokerage, currently sitting at $426,000. Now, what I'm doing is I am focusing in on a position called IWMI. And take a look here at Seeking Alpha. This is going to be the NEOS Russell 2000 High Income ETF. And I've done a lot of research, and I'm very happy to fund this position. Now, I do not want this to be a large position. If you actually look at my monthly pairs, they do make up for the most part a very small percentage in the total portfolio value. Now, the goal that I have is for all of those positions to pay out about $100 per month. That's going to allow me to keep the position relatively small, but I'm still going to be able to take that cash flow and build up my M1 brokerage. So right now within Robinhood, you can see since December, I have set a rule within Robinhood to make a daily purchase of $60. And all of this is coming from options premium. I am not funding any of these daily purchases from my actual checking account or earned income, but rather from the cash that's in my Robinhood brokerage, and that cash comes from me selling options. So this is truly money making money. That's why I get so excited about selling options, because it can really help me be a traditional investor as well. All right, let's go ahead and get you caught up on all of the premium that I made this week. Now remember, the goal for 2025 is to make $1,000 a week. That's $52,000. Now last year I made about $84,000, but I'm choosing a more conservative number because I just don't know how the market is going to do this year. I do not know that I'm going to be able to compete with implied volatility and other market considerations. So I would rather set a smaller, more reasonable goal. And if I do exceed 52,000, great. And if I don't, that's also okay, because again, I'm using a large chunk of this premium income and I'm converting that into passive income. So let's go ahead and get you caught up on what I did for week 4. And I made $2,000, bringing my total premium haul since I began selling options in 2022 to now over 180,000. Another big goal that I have for this year is to cross that 200,000 mark. And so this is something that I like to do in my investment journey. I don't just want to set one large goal. Let's say, for example, when it comes to selling options, I told you my goal was to make 52,000. That's one goal. I'd rather, also include some smaller, more obtainable, more reasonable goals that I can achieve along the way. And so, I want to make 52,000, but I also want to build up my IWMI position. So I have a series of goals that's going to keep this journey fresh and exciting. If we take a look here at 2025, I'm keeping track of all of the contracts that I write. I'm going to go ahead and on the fly here, show you all of the contracts that I wrote. And I'm going to go ahead and further narrow this down. And we're going to go ahead and choose this week. And I want to show you all of the positions that I opened and I closed this week. I'm going to go ahead and assort this, if you will, from the smallest contract to the largest contract. And one of the things that I also want to point out, yes, my Robinhood brokerage is over 400,000. Of course, I'm selling options and I'm making decent premium. And you might say, well, that's because his portfolio is the size that it is. But I also want to point out, despite having that large portfolio, I have no problem selling puts against a smaller stock like Rivian, where the collateral that I had to have was $1,250. Now, we certainly had some big contracts that I sold to open this week, one of them being MSTR. You can see the collateral on this one contract was pretty hefty, $36,000 that I had to have in cash/margin, but I was able to lock in some profits on all of these, and they range from small, like Rivian, you see Foot Locker, you also see some higher price stocks like Nvidia and Reddit and Coinbase. So again, there's certainly a full range there, but I don't know that I would sit here and say, well, I'm only going to go ahead and focus on the highest premium, right? I want to come out and I want to write 3 contracts against Coinbase or Reddit or Nvidia. And there's some decent sized premium with those positions, but I'm also selling options to generate, if you will, $9 on each of these Rivian contracts, or $15 on each of these Foot Locker contracts. So I've got no problem taking advantage of smaller price stocks. Let's go ahead and actually unhide these columns, and I break down the percentage of my return. Take a look here on all of the positions that I closed out just this week. I held those contracts for about 2.5 days. And if we look at the percentage of my return on a single contract, I'm locking in about 80% on average. And so, that's also something very exciting about selling options. But I also want to point out that it's not as though I'm always going to be locking in a high percentage. Take a look here at Coinbase. Now, earlier in the week, you'll see on the 21st, I sold to open a Coinbase contract. I had to have $26,000 in collateral, and I opened that up to expire on the 31st, which is actually next Friday. Now, when I sold to open, I received $220, and you're going to see here, not even a couple of days went by. In fact, just 2 days, and I decided to take only 55% profit. So this is also, another aspect that I have. I'd love to lock in 80%, 90%, 100%. But I also have no problem locking in as little as 30 to 50%. I kind of look at it like, less premium, more frequency. And so, I was able to essentially only tie up 26,000 for the course of 2 days. And in doing so, I had a 55% return on that one contract. I locked in $120, and that's going to add to my totality of $2,000 for the week. So that $2,000 isn't just comprised of, big name stocks like Coinbase or Nvidia or MSTR, but you also saw some of the smaller contracts that I was able to sell to open and later buy to close as well. And that's going to be the strategy that I maintain throughout the year. I'm not opposed to earning, even just $10 or $15. To me, it all adds up. So there you have it. We're looking at 6,200. That's a year-to-date total. 1 month is officially in the books. You guys will have to remain tuned in. Let me know, by the way, in the comments if you agree with my strategy of using options premium to buy high yielding monthly pairs. Would you instead use that premium to just buy the positions that I showed you in the long-term focus? Am I essentially just taking money from the left pocket and putting it into the right? Let me know if you agree with my strategy or what you would do different. I'd love to see your comments. I hope you guys are having a great day. We'll see you on the next one.